Village Reef is their home, built on a pile of gold. And for the young and the old, life and work just carry on. So take a good look and you'll see that they're ordinary people like you and me. Feel free to come to the Village Reef.
An 8 is 12, put down 2, carry 1. It's not a ghost, it's the genuine article. From a fair old sweater to my tartan socks, 100% Dougal Fitzgerald and fully guaranteed.
I can't believe it. I didn't even know you were back in the country.
Oh, it's 5 weeks now. Long enough to have heard all the news, like you getting married and... How about your dad?
But what are you doing here? How long have you been back?
Well, I lost my job back in Scotland, and jobs aren't easy to come by. So I thought I'd try my luck back here.
Well, thank you, Hilton. Nice of you to say so. Cynthia? Oh, she's fine. A bit of a domestic upheaval the other day, but we sorted that out. I'm sure she'll tell you herself when you get back. Good. You enjoy the rest of your stay down there. Bye. Boss sends his regards. Says we should see him back next week.
I take the strongest exception to my private life being discussed on the telephone.
But we didn't discuss it. You heard what I said.
Or was it necessary to even mention it?
Don't you think he ought to know? I mean, you are pretty close. I mean, your welfare is important to him.
It didn't have to be dropped casually into a telephone conversation.
But he's bound to find out. Lots of people know about it.
And I wonder why. Simon McRae hasn't spread it around. He gave me his word he wouldn't.
What are you suggesting?
Well, the only other person who knew all about it was you, and no doubt your wife.
There's no need to bring my wife into this. What about Melanie
Well, there was
Cullen?
no need to tell Mr. McRae in the way you did. Bit of a domestic upheaval. What on earth will he think you meant by that?
He asked me how you were. I had to tell him something. It was a crisis after all, damn it.
How do you know?
Your ex-husband walks in here out of the blue.
And
after
anyway,
4 years.
I'm quite capable of telling Mr. McRae myself in my own time and in my own way.
I'm sorry. I should have been more sensitive to your, relationship. Or have I got the wrong member of the family?
He took such a fancy to Cynthia, you know. I think she could have married him. He was such a nice man. Not a bit like that awful David Holmes. Ugh. You know, I get the cold shivers every time I think of the beast. You don't think Mr. Fitzgerald's come back for...
Another try.
Do you?
I asked him that. He was, well, very evasive, which leads me to suspect
That you could be right.
poor old Fitz. I used to feel so sorry for him. He's the kind of man women get on so well with, but never seem to fall for.
So how did he find out about us? That's what I want to know.
Well, I told you we ought to be more careful.
Like what? Wear false moustaches when we go out so nobody recognizes us.
It wasn't wise to go out at all.
Look, you refuse to come to my flat. The one place where we can be completely private.
And you know why. A relationship like ours is so...
What?
Oh, vulnerable.
Why can't you just let it happen naturally?
Your parents will be back next week.
Oh, I see. So to satisfy their bourgeois sensibilities, we've got to stop seeing each other.
It's too dangerous, Si.
Or is it simply that I provided a useful means of getting rid of your husband?
Simon! If that's what you think, I'm sorry we got together again.
Well, what else can I think? I mean, 1 minute you're so warm and close, you seem to need me, the next minute you're running for cover.
Well, I get frightened
Frightened of what?
of where it will lead.
Look, why can't you just let it happen? The roof's not going to cave in simply because two people love each other and they want to be together.
Love? It's the first time you've mentioned the word.
Of course I love you. Do you think I'd be so pushy if I didn't? Cynthia, I love you.
Oh, Simon. I was frightened before. Now I'm terrified.
Hey.
You're late.
I know.
I was supposed to make that use today, hadn't I? Ooh, must shave those little bits, they prickle. Oh, hi, Si.
Fritz,
That's right.
what are you doing here?
What does it look like?
Hello.
Hello, Simon.
So?
Well, it was about a week after I broke up with Nick. I was sitting in the university coffee bar and I looked up and there he was.
I've been staring at her for about 10 minutes, wondering if she remembered who I was.
The Mum and Dad know about this?
No way. Can you imagine the reaction? Mind you, I thought I was a bit naughty. I was dropping all sorts of formidable hints about finding older men more attractive than younger ones. They must have been freaking. I can just imagine Mum saying to Dad, Hilton, I've got this awful feeling that Wendy's having an affair with an older man.
At least it's not a married man.
Oh, I'm sure the devastating thought crossed their minds.
You're a little shocker, you know that.
Oh, I... Mind you, what about you? Going into the mine shop like that. Now everyone on Village Reef will know you're back.
Well, at least they don't know about you and me.
I don't see why not.
Come on, Wendy.
Have you ever tried keeping a secret in this place?
Sally jumped to the conclusion I'd come back to look up Cynthia Holmes. I kind of made her think that she was on the right track.
Mind you, Cynthia will also get to hear you're back.
Well, the thought had occurred to me. Perhaps I could drop round and say hello to her. Just to keep everyone jumping to the same conclusions, of course.
Of course.
I'll get this bit shaved.
Man! Shh, you wake him up. Wake one up. He's sleeping.
What's sleepy? What have you got on me?
$50 from the pump boy. Got lots of them. He wants a rand for the big one.
What are you going to do with that?
Keep him.
What for?
That's for fun.
What did you put him in there for?
Well, I've got to keep him warm. It's cold outside.
Take him out and let him walk about a bit.
Hell, it's very tight in here, eh? It's like peeling something. He's still in there. You can see him. Hey.
What kid have you been wearing this sock?
Yeah, underground.
You madman! You've gone and gassed him.
What do you see in him?
I don't know.
Are you in love with him?
You crazy?
Well, then.
Well, now you know about the man in my life. How about the girl in yours?
The crunch is coming. Basil Clay knows about us.
Oh,
And that means the whole mine knows, if it doesn't already.
yeah, which means Dad will find out and Cynthia will lose her job, Mr. Turn go to jail.
Your turn to throw.
You know, it's just occurred to me. Fitz is going to see Cynthia, so everyone thinks he's still in love with her.
But everybody thinks Cynthia's in love with me.
And me? Who do they think I'm in love with?
They don't know where you're at all.
My love is like a red, red rose. Aye, it's not a ghost. From my Highland brogues to my grey yinglogs to my fair I'll sweater to my tartan socks, 100% Dougal Fitzgerald, I'm fully guaranteed.
I can see that.
Yeah, these are for you.
Oh, thank you. You've shaved up your moustache.
Aye.
Otherwise, you haven't changed a bit.
Well, why didn't you faint at the sight of me with shock or surprise?
Well, I would have if I hadn't known you were coming.
Oh, you knew.
Well, I hoped you'd come. I would have been very disappointed if you hadn't dropped in.
Well, fair Cynthia. You know, you're every bit as beautiful as I remember. Why hasn't some handsome hero swept you off your feet and taken you away from here? Oh, where's the boss, by the way? Is he in?
Mr. McRae's away on sick leave.
Meaning old Rusty Razorblades is in charge.
Afraid so.
Well, don't be so upset. There are fates worse in life.
Name one.
Well, there's, there must be something worse. Tell me, what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this? You in love with anyone? Anyone in love with you? Straight questions, straight answers.
Which shall I answer first?
Well, you choose.
I am in love with no one.
Uh-huh.
And,
Someone's in love with you. Well, how could it be otherwise? Everyone's in love with Cynthia.
what about you? Are you in love? Straight question, straight answer.
There was only one love in my life, and you turned me down.
So, like me, you're free?
Yes, of course.
Good. That means you can take me out on Friday night.
Friday?
Are you busy?
Friday.
Oh, come on, Fitz. Surely you can remember if you're doing something or not.
There must have been something happening on
It
Friday.
so happens I've got 2 tickets for a concert. I'll pay for the tickets if you pay for the dinner.
Dinner, too?
It'll be like old times. Well, is my suggestion accepted or not?
Of course. It's an excellent idea.
Well, you might look pleased about it.
It'll be a great, great pleasure. Fitz! There's no reason to be so upset about it.
Look, I told you there was a party on Friday. Now, don't tell me you forgot.
Well, how could I tell her I was going out with you on Friday
You
night?
didn't have to tell her you were going out with me. All you had to say was you're already doing something.
I'm not very good at that kind of thing. I haven't had much practice.
Look, Fitz, if you'd rather go out with her, just say so. I'll survive the disappointment.
No, of course not.
Of course not what?
We wanted people to think that I was still interested in Cynthia. We agreed on that. All I was doing was building up the illusion.
How far do you intend to take this little subterfuge? The point where the 2 of you...
Oh, you're being ridiculous.
Look, how would you like it if I said I was going out with someone else instead?
The first place, I didn't ask her, she asked me.
But that's worse.
She happened to have a couple of tickets for a concert.
Yeah, happened to have a couple of tickets. She knew you were back. She probably went out and bought them specially.
In the second place, I
She's
thought...
also playing a little game. Either she's trying to protect her relationship with Simon, or
With
she's
Simon?
trying to get rid of him.
What's all this about?
Really, Si, there's no point in our getting together to discuss it. There's nothing more to say. I know, and I'm sorry. Believe me. But what's the point of not being frank about it? Yes, I am. Well, if you really want to know, with Dougal Fitzgerald. He's back from Scotland and... What? Fitz and Wendy? Are you sure he wasn't dead when you bought him?
No, he was walking and everything, man. You could see he was fit.
How do you know it's him?
Hey?
How do you know it's not her?
I don't know.
Well, I suppose if it's never going to come out, it's never going to make any difference anyway.
Maybe it's a noise. Maybe we should just keep quiet for a minute.
Well, I think... I think if it was hungry, it would come out and eat.
Maybe it's weak from hunger.
No, man, you gave it cabbage.
Maybe I should have given it some milk.
Tortoises don't drink milk.
How do you know?
Cats drink milk, not tortoises.
Maybe if I just pour some down here.
No, man. I think they eat grass. Seem to remember seeing one once eating grass. Was sort of chewing like a cow.
Hey, do tortoises have teeth?
I don't know. Stick your finger in and see if it bites you.
Yes, you almost caught me, eh?
I feel so bad about Simon.
Oh, he's young and more resilient than you realized.
It was never really on, and I should never have let it develop as far as I did.
Don't blame yourself. We all need companionship.
And Simon's a good companion.
Aye.
Fitz, about Friday, you don't have to come. I'll probably find somebody else to take the tickets.
What are you talking about? We've got a date on Friday.
Oh, and I'm afraid I talked you into it.
Nonsense. I'm looking forward to it.
Fitz, I know.
Know what?
About you and Wendy McRae.
Oh. I see. You sure old Rusty Razorblades isn't coming back?
Sure.
Good. We'll play hooky for once.
Okay.
I'll buy you a drink. I've got a lot to talk about.
That's a silly question. Of course I'll come. Will you pick me up or shall I meet you in time? I'll be on time. Just make sure you are. Okay. Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
I've heard about your dad. Thought I'd just drop by and see how he was.
It's fine. Be back on the weekend.
Ah, good. That's good.
Thank you for your concern.
Otherwise?
Otherwise, fine. And you?
Never better.
That's good.
There's a hop on at Varsity on Friday. I was just wondering, maybe if you're not busy, if you...
Thanks, but I am.
Maybe some other time.
No.
But I hear there's nobody else, but I don't hear everything.
Well, there is.
That him? Do I know him?
No.
Ah.
Does it matter?
Just curious.
Well, he's a professional man. He's very tender, very understanding, very amusing, and he's mature.
Mature.
He's a little bit older than I am.
Ah.
You see, I found that until a man is 30, 35, or even a little bit older, he doesn't begin to be interesting to me.
I see.
Don't take it personally. Older men have more to offer. Your turn will come.
Gee, thanks.
There's no need to get upset.
Look, who is this guy, Wendy? Look, apart from the fact that he's seen her, why can't you tell me?
Just watch it.
Look, we've always been straight with each other. What's this big secret?
There's no big secret.
Then what's got into you?
What's got into you? It's none of your business.
You're having me on, aren't you? This is some big sugar daddy dream of yours.
Sugar daddy.
And I must tell you that I find it a bit sick. Or you just try to humiliate me.
Nick Wilmot humiliated.
Now listen, Wendy.
Look, I resent this prying. For reasons of my own, I don't wish to tell you.
Okay.
Just accept it.
I accept it. It's your life.
It's Dougal Fitzgerald. Look, if Mom and Dad find out, they'll hit the roof.
Fitz!
Yeah, he's been back for over a month. It just sort of happened. You see, I knew I should have told you. Only you find it funny.
No, I don't.
What do you know? You wouldn't have a clue.
I'm just flabbergasted, that's all. Fitz! Fitz isn't just a bit older than you.
We're not freaks, you know.
But Fitz!
It's Basil that calls her the iceberg. I call her the Sphinx because she's so inscrutable. You know the sort of thing. Cynthia, that's a lovely outfit you're wearing. Did you make it yourself? So they're going out together. I think that's marvellous. But what about Simon? Oh, the situation's fraught with possibilities. Now, has she dropped him for Dougal? And if so, is it because she's frightened of losing her job? Or is she leading us to believe that she's taken up with Dougal so that she can secretly carry on with Simon? Could Cynthia be that devious? Oh, that's the whole point of being a Sphinx. You never know where you are with them. Cynthia, is it true that you're having an affair with the general manager's son? You should have been on the stage.
Oh, perhaps she was being cruel to be kind, as they say.
I don't care about her motives. That's a bitch of a way to behave. No idea she could be so callous.
I think you put her on a pedestal, Si. It's unfair to expect too much of people.
I don't expect very much.
Perhaps. By your standards.
Is ordinary loyalty such a lofty virtue?
Look, I'm not trying to make excuses for her. All I'm trying to do is see it from her point of view.
There's something else you ought to know about. About Fitz. When I spoke to Cynthia, she said that he'd asked...
He's already told me. He's taking her out tomorrow night, right?
I suppose one day we'll look back on all this and have a good laugh.
It's 4:30. I've come to pick you up.
But Fitz, the concert's tomorrow night.
I know, but I come to pick you up all the same. Now, come on.
Oh, you're impossible.
think you better not face it, Dad.
Do you think it's...
Yeah, Neil. I think they took you for 50 cents.
But he was fit when I got him. He was walking and everything.
No, he must have had something wrong with him. Better get another one. I'm telling you, this one's dead.
Hey, no, it isn't. Look.
Oh, no, sis, man. I'm on the kitchen table.
Well?
I didn't forget. I just ran out of courage. Look, sooner or later your parents are going to find out, and the prospect frightens me to death.
I noticed no lack of courage before you saw Cynthia again.
It's got nothing to do with Cynthia.
Oh, come on, at least have the guts to be honest about it.
I am being honest. Wendy, I'm old enough to be your father.
Please, you can give me anything, but you don't give me that.
Sorry.
And for God's sake, stop apologizing.
Well, what do I say then?
You say it was fun while it lasted. Thanks to the ego massage. Got to run now before I embarrass your parents or they embarrass me. Besides, can't keep Cynthia waiting. So, so long.
Wendy?
But thanks for the lesson, Fitz. It'll teach me not to get involved with a middle-aged Romeo.